Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and for my regular viewers and subscribers, glad to see you back again. In today's video, I will be continuing Nikita's story. It is a long one, but please watch to the end. Okay, so I began a series where I brought the story of Nikita's experience with a land scammer in the Gambia, a notorious, cunning land scammer to be exact, one who befriended and charmed Nikita. In part 2, I told you how they hunted for Buba, the person who was supposed to be selling her the land. And I told you how he became elusive and evasive when she was trying to find him. He was missing in action for several weeks until he was tracked down in a hideout house in the heart of Sanyang village. He was hiding from many people he had scammed. So after days of investigation and asking questions to the local people, they eventually found Buba. If you have not already watched part 1 and 2, please do so, for to you to get the full understanding of the situation that Nikita experienced, it would be great for you to watch part 1 and 2. Okay, so they found Buba sitting curled up in a corner, pretending that he was ill and explaining that that was his reason for becoming so elusive. But Nikita and her friends was not accepting his lame excuse, especially the soldier who was supporting Nikita, who fired questions at Buba, who was being caught off guard. He explained that he had made a huge mistake and he was going to see to it that Nikita gets her legal documents and her land in a few days. After much grilling from the soldier and the anger from Nikita, he resolved that he was going to make matters right. So where was the land that Nikita bought from Buba? Why couldn't she find it? Buba had taken it up on himself to erect a house for his sister on the land. That is why she was unable to locate the land which she had fenced and left empty. Buba resold the land to his sister. His sister at the time was living abroad. He resold the land and started building a house for his sister on the land. They planned to meet the next day and to visit the alcalá and, the local council to get the papers sorted out. But of course, Buba did not keep his promise. He did not turn up. He did not meet up with them. He was still playing games. He was still being wrong and strong. Buba went missing again. He failed to turn up at the meeting that he had arranged with Nikita and her supporters. As a result of this, they decided to take the matter to the police, and after hearing the story, the police were really appalled, and instantly a warrant was out for Buba's arrest. After writing a statement and hearing the story, the police was in support of Nikita and stated that Buba had committed a criminal offence by taking money under false pretense and putting false names on the document that he had given to Nikita. Remember in part 1, I explained to you that Buba said that the land belonged to another seller, when in fact it was later discovered that the land actually belonged to Buba. So he sold the land in a false name and resold the land back to his sister in his right name. His sister lives abroad, so she was unaware of what was taking place. So this is why she sent money to Buba to oversee the building of a house on the land for her. Buba was now a wanted man. The police and many others who he had scammed were looking for him. But despite the fact that he knew he was a wanted man, he continued to be on the run. Eventually, in the heat of the situation, he handed himself in to the police. When he arrived at the station, he was questioned about his activities, his actions, what he's been doing with other people. until eventually he told the truth that he had provided false documents. I mean, this was a time of Ramadan, so I don't know if it was because of Ramadan why he felt that he had to tell the truth. This was a time when this was a holy month when they were all supposed to be fasting. He told the police that he had given false documents and that he had resold the land to his sister and he was building a house for her. He explained that he would approach his sister and let her know who the rightful owner was and try his best to hand the land back over to Nikita because he had taken money from her for the land and for the fencing. After many days of to and fro, Buba's sister agreed to give the land back to Nikita because she did not want her brother to end up in prison. It was now a criminal offence, and he had admitted to what had transpired, and it was recorded. In order for an out-of-court settlement, it was agreed that Nikita would reimburse some of the money to the sister for the house that was erected on her land. I personally believe that Buba should have repaid back this money to his sister because Nikita did not ask for a house to be built on her land. In the end, the police saw to it that all the correct papers were drawn up from the Alcalo and from, the land registry bearing Nikita's name. She now has her land back and has placed a watchman there to keep an eye on all the activities that could possibly take place while she's away. Buba received a hard time from the law, and this is not relayed in its intensity in what I'm actually telling you. But the way he was grilled, the way he was frightened, the way he had this court case hanging over his head and the possibility of going to prison, he should have learnt a harsh lesson from this experience. His sister no longer speaks to him, and there is a rift in the family because of his actions. There's also a rift between Buba and people within the community. Here we have the good, the bad and the ugly. Buba the scammer, the people who were helping Nikita, and basically the trauma that Nikita went through. There are good and bad people in the Gambia. And as the saying goes, to be poor is a crime. But I don't believe that poverty justifies this type of behavior. So what you need to do after listening to this story is to be careful who you trust. The smile doesn't always represent good. Try to find people from the diaspora that have lived in the Gambia for a very long time. They will be able to point you in the right direction. They can advise you on specific routes to take. Don't be dismayed by, Nikita's experience. There are some good people in the Gambia. Pray that you find them, and eventually you'll be able to sift out the wheat from the tares. I will leave a link in the description box of one of my videos that gives you the correct steps that you should take if you intend to buy land or property in the Gambia. You can also drop me an email at gambiagoodlife@gmail.com if you have any questions about living in the Gambia. In return, you can support my channel by leaving a comment, a like and subscribe if you have not already done so. One love to you all, and I hope to see you all again very soon.